The things successful people ignore in life. There are certain things you should ignore if you value inner peace. You will be shocked at how some of these things can affect your mood. Let's examine them together. These are the things you shouldn't worry about in life. Number 1. Reading deliberately negative news. Every single day, more than 2 million news articles are published online. It wouldn't be a problem, since we all love to stay informed, right? The majority of those articles, however, are either negative or straight up fake news. Have you ever wondered why? Because that's what gets people emotionally involved and drives the most traffic. It's almost impossible for our brains to process everything that's happening in the world. Psychologists have found that consuming too much of this kind of news, whether actively or passively, is detrimental to your health, because what you read and hear impacts your mood, and it's time to change that. As a result, we tend to stay away from negative news as much as possible. Do not waste your time on stuff that isn't relevant to you. Number 2. Propaganda. There's a growing lack of trust in politicians all around the world. Trust in politicians and fair economic policies have declined rapidly in the last 2 years, according to national election studies. Politicians who are corrupt often suffer from poverty, resulting in insane wealth gaps. Who would want to live such a world? It's not an option to stay poor. We need to escape the matrix as soon as possible. Our goal is to help you reach your full potential. With us, you can take a self-improvement pill. Okay, just kidding. But recent events have bred conspiracy theories and propaganda. Outside is absolutely wild. Make sure you can filter out all the noise and pay attention only to the things that matter to you, your family, and your industry. This can be done by honing your critical thinking skills. Number 3. Doomers and toxic people. Everyone knows at least one person who is always negative and projects nihilistic views everywhere they go. They are even referred to as doomers on the internet because no one wants to be around them. You can see what happens if you put a rotten apple in a basket of healthy apples. We don't want to hang out with them because they're not inspiring. We tend to act and think like the 5 people we spend most of our time with. Your vibe attracts your tribe, so here's a fix. It's crucial to ignore doomers and their nihilistic view of the world if you value your inner peace. Number 4. Things that are not under your control. What is the difference between a person who is always calm and relaxed and one who is always worried all the time? In most cases, the first person knows how to distinguish between things under their control and those that are not. It's a mental crutch we see a lot in books about stoicism. In order to live a more relaxed and fulfilling life, some believe we need to undergo a paradigm shift. However, most of the things that happen around us are beyond our control. By ignoring them and focusing on the things that you can control, you will have a much better quality in life. Keep in mind, it's not what happens to us, but how we respond to things that matter. Number 5. The little frustrations of everyday life. Imagine you're late for work and it suddenly starts to rain. It looks like everything is going wrong. It feels like everything is going to collapse when your spouse blows up over the phone. Your boss is mad at you and the stock market is collapsing. Days like these are inevitable in everyone's life. Maintaining a detached mindset is the most effective way to handle it. Most of this isn't that meaningful, and the negative feelings associated with some events will just pass in the grand scheme of things. It's your choice whether to be mad at the weather or grateful that you're alive to experience it. My friend, it's all up to you. Feelings of frustration may creep on you, but ignore them as best of you can fight back with gratitude. Number 6. Dwelling on the past. Most people in the modern age struggle with this. This is for an understandable reason. Dwelling on your past actions is a psychologically proven source of anxiety as well as the reason many people fail in life. It's true that we can change the past, but we can improve ourselves in the present. Take the opportunity to learn from our past mistakes rather than letting them define you. In addition, can you really trust your mind to recall unbiased and complete stories about you? In this case, probably not. Keeping your mind on the past is an irrational thing weak people tend to do. Avoid it as much as possible if you want to enjoy the present moment. Number 7. Doubting yourself. There is no doubt that humans are masters at doubting themselves. Life isn't about asking yourself if you have what it takes and if you're capable of succeeding. However, Focusing on trying out different things in life and being determined will help you grow in confidence. If you embrace failure as a part of your process and ignore doubt whenever it creeps in, you will have no trouble accomplishing anything. In order to achieve this, self-belief and realistic expectations are crucial. So set yourself an accurate time horizon if you're just starting out. We know you've got what it takes, otherwise you wouldn't be here watching this. Number 8. Striving for perfection. The paradigm shift is not about perfection, but about excellence. People who chase the perfect life, the perfect spouse, the perfect job, the perfect everything are the ones who are the most disappointed with their lives. What's the reason? They set themselves up for failure by having unrealistic expectations. This is one of the biggest psychological burdens social media has poisoned us with. Don't compare yourself to others. Start by building your ideal life and sowing the seeds of happiness instead of writing your own. Make a plan, write it down and execute it. Soon you see yourself moving toward excellence and prosperity. You just have to trust the process. Number 9. Random distractions. Especially if you're a high achiever, you can't get distracted at every step. If you want to have a meaningful life, for example, procrastination, watching endless TV shows, clubbing, etc. are all examples of random distractions. As a result, you may be able to achieve your goals and ambitions. A random distraction feeds what Stephen Pressfield calls resistance in his book, The Art of War, which is a must-read. Find out what's most meaningful for you right now, ignore anything that distracts you from it, and see what happens. Number 10. Other people's judgments. Self-reliance is something we all need to learn as early as possible in life. It is rare to find people who know how to think and not what to think. Their voices matter. Be attentive to it, but don't let it override your intuition. Furthermore, the more you care about what others think, the more enslaved you will feel by their opinions. Because you cannot control it, it can affect your happiness. Avoid getting attached to what others have to say and focus on building your integrity instead. Number 11. The fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown is one of the most terrifying aspects of survival mechanisms. The reason why many people choose to play it safe is because they're not willing to take risks. I believe that fortune favors the bold and that the life rewards those who are willing to venture out into the unknown and face the things most foreign to them. We fill in the unknown with our own thoughts. Feel this fear when it overwhelms you. Let it pass through you, not over you. Number 12. The fear of death. There's nothing more absurd than fearing the laws of nature. The natural processes such as aging and death are part of the universe's natural order. Embracing them and understanding them is the key to reducing anxiety and living in the present. Getting attached to your ego and identity in the material world will cause you more suffering. Therefore, our advice to you when it comes to this is to practice gratitude for every day that you have.